Hey y'all, welcome back to Jaxx Drinkwater Southern Cooking and Barbecue. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a barbecue fusion, Korean barbecue brisket tacos. Now that's the real deal, purebred A4 Wagyu brisket. So this A4 Wagyu flat brisket needs to be treated right. So we're gonna give it a rub down. We're gonna start out with 2 tablespoons of gochujang. And I will say this, we got a lot of gochujang here. So we're gonna have to think of what we're gonna do with the rest of this gochujang. I'm thinking, what are you thinking? Maybe gochujang ribs? You liking that?
Yeah, or oatmeal.
No, we're not doing oatmeal. Not today anyway. All right, so 2 tablespoons of gochujang paste, followed by 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Give it a mix. Let's pour a little bit of this over there like this. Give it a nice little massage here. Let me tell you something. This stuff is fantastic. Little butcher jack up right there. Not real happy about that for a Wagyu brisket.
Oh, it's a built-in slit.
Sometimes built-in slits are okay, but that on a brisket, that's not very good. All right, so let's do this. Now this is the part where I'm gonna transfer this to a vacuum sealed bag. Now you can use, this is made by Tyfer for sous vide and whatnot. I'll leave a link below if you wanna check that out. But I'm gonna put this in there and then we're gonna vacuum seal it, although you could use saran wrap or something like that. Let's put that in there just like so. We'll pour the rest of it in here. Give it a seal up. All right, into the refrigerator we go. We're gonna marinate that for at least 2 hours or 24 hours. We just woke our brisket up from that overnight nap. Let's open her up and let's get her on the smoker. Now, let's pull her out real quick. Oh, she's a beaut. All right, so remember, we had it in that marinade. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over it with just a little bit of 16 mesh black pepper, and I'm really only doing that to help with some bark formation on here. Remember that it already has pepper in there. So again, we're just going light coat, not like you would do a regular brisket, okay? Just lightly, about like that. We'll flip her over. Same thing on this side. Okay, I'm liking that. Okay, onto the smoker she goes. We're gonna be cooking this with the fat cap up. All right, we got our smoker. We're gonna be running today at about 250 degrees, 225, 250. I'm gonna do it right here in the middle, like that. Let's close her up. Remember, I got fat cap up. And we're just doing the flat, so it's not gonna take as long as it would a regular brisket, but try to keep your smoker between 225, 250, somewhere thereabouts. When you put another log on there, it might creep up a little bit from 250 and when you put a log on it, but if it does, that's fine, it'll settle back down. While your brisket is out there on the smoker, we got 2 things that we need to do, well, possibly 3 things, because I've decided that marinade that we did yesterday, it's more of a Korean barbecue sauce, so we're gonna be making up another batch of that. I'm not gonna show that on camera, but that's gonna be like our finishing sauce that we're gonna put on these tacos when we're done. But there's 2 other things we need to do. One is gonna be a slaw to give that a little crunch, and we're also gonna be making some quick pickled red onions. Going with a little bit of shredded carrot as well. I chopped up 1 carrot, but we're not using the entire carrot. A little bit of Japanese mayonnaise going in. We'll eyeball that. We'll start out with maybe 2 tablespoons. A little bit of honey, about 2 tablespoons. A little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of rice vinegar going in. About a teaspoon of our gochujang going in there. A little pinch of salt, pinch of pepper. Let's give that a toss about. And again, this is all eyeballed pretty much. I mean, I did give you some measurements, but it really just depends on what you like, how wet you like it, how dry you want your slaw. I'm liking the consistency of that, but we are missing one thing, and that's this sad green onion that has barely survived out of my little garden. But I'm gonna just chop that whole thing up in here and add that to it. Go in with some white vinegar, about 1/3 of this jar here. A little bit of, top it off with water. A little bit of salt, little sugar. Put the lid on it. That was a 1/2 teaspoon of each. I'll have the recipe and whatnot in the description. Give it a shake. All right, into the refrigerator we go. About an hour in, let's give this a check. Just checking to see if it's dried out a little bit. And not quite. I might wait about another 30 minutes. I just put a, hang on, let's close this. I just put another log on there. We're 1 hour in. I'm gonna give it a little bit of spritz. I'm gonna wait about 30 minutes and come out and give it a little spritz. And I think I'm just gonna spritz with regular water. A little pooling there in our crack, but I'm just gonna get that off. There we go. Running about 235 degrees-ish. A little bit of pooling there. Let's just get that off right there. Been spritzing every, half hour or so. I do want to mention that I'm using post oak as my wood in case somebody wants to know. I'm also doing this on the Lone Star Grills offset. I'm gonna leave a link below if you're interested, don't have an offset, or you're interested in one. Give Lone Star Grills a email or call them, talk to Chris. These are some good folks over there at Lone Star Grills. They're out of Texas. So I just flipped the brisket over. We're temping it about 165. It's 1 o'clock now, so going about 4 hours. We're close. I want to wrap it at 175 degrees. So about 10 degrees. I'm figuring about another 45 minutes or an hour, and we're going to put that in a pan and then cover it, bring it up to 200 at least. I just temped it. We're at 175 degrees, so we're about ready to pull this. So what I've done is I've mixed me up some beef broth. I've also added some of our Korean barbecue sauce in there. I mixed it up. It was just random. I poured a little bit of beef broth in there and squirted maybe 2 tablespoons of the Korean barbecue sauce in there. So we're gonna take our brisket, and remember, I'm turning it back over, so we got the fat side still up. Go ahead and wrap it. Okay, we're gonna put our thyfer in here. We're gonna try to guesstimate at least a little bit on that. Put it back in here. All right, we got our thyfer probe in there. We're looking for 200 degrees or somewhere thereabouts, 205. But we just want this to be able to, we can slice it and then we're gonna chop it up. So our thyfer Sync Gold has just alerted me that we are done. So we're gonna check, and just to make sure everything's good, we're reading right now at 200 degrees. So we're just gonna give it a little probe here, and we are totally done. So I'm not really, I'm checking the temp. We're reading about 202 in some spots, but I'm really just kind of feeling for, the tenderness, and it feels pretty good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close this back up, and I'm gonna let it rest for about an hour. All right, we've rested for 1 hour, so let's give this a cut into. I'm gonna just pick it up one-handed here. Before we slice into this brisket, let's transfer some of these goods to the grease separator here, just in case we need it. All right, that's our plan B, if we need some juiciness or whatever. All right, let's slice into this joker. All right, let's have a look. Nice, nice. All right, so let's cube this up and make these tacos. Go down with a little bit of this brisket. I don't think we're gonna be stingy. We're just gonna go with it. A little bit of our slaw, some of our pickled red onions, a little bit of our Korean barbecue sauce, and for good measure, let's give a squirt of lime. All right, I'm going in. All right, here we go. That is heaven in a corn tortilla. You guys gotta give this a go. It's sweet, savory, umami, fantastic. Everything plays well together. It's a spin on traditional brisket. Don't settle for just Texas brisket. Step outside the box. All right, guys. Barbecue fusion, Korean brisket tacos. Do it.